Hi, Chemistry. Welcome to your Blackboard class. We will be using this class about 4 days a week, and we will meet together 1 day a week for labs and other fun things. So if you have any questions or anything about the class, you can look back at this video. It will be here in the Start Here section. It'll be linked, so you can always watch it. And if you have questions, you can also contact me through email, which you can find here, text, which comes to my laptop, or you could call my classroom phone, but being as I'm pretty much only in there when I'm teaching live class and thus not answering the phone, that's probably the last resort. So either texting or emailing should get an answer within 24 hours. And just other information that you might want to hold on to, I have Flex Lab Tuesdays during second and third period, so not on Wednesday if you're needing to take a test or something with me. I also have my office hours second and fifth period. So that does change occasionally based on staff schedule, so please do check back at that periodically. You'll always land on this announcements page when you come into class, so just kind of, if you're wanting to meet with me, double check that before you come on campus and try to find me. All right, so if you're watching this video, that means you read your first announcement. High five to you. And this is a quick tutorial to walk you through where to find everything that you're going to need to be successful in this class. So now that you have found the announcements, the purpose of them is to kind of fill you in on important information for the week. So you'll always have one on Monday morning, and it will tell you whether or not you need to dress for lab for live class, or kind of if there's a project coming up, don't forget your exam, that kind of thing. I recommend checking announcements maybe every other day, definitely Monday mornings for sure, and then maybe pop back in after live class on Wednesday in case there's anything I need to remind you about, and by the end of the week, so Thursday, Friday, just as you wrap up your week. So now that you've found announcements, you're like, okay, I know there's stuff to do. How do I know what to do? And that is what the calendar section is for. So if you take a look at your calendar, one thing you might notice is it may not match what's actually in the live calendar in your Blackboard class right now. This changes throughout the semester, and this video doesn't get re-recorded every year. So this could be an old calendar. Don't hold to what you see in this video. Definitely check the calendar in your class. But if you take a look, it should be broken down about the same way. You have a Monday and Tuesday, then we meet together live on Wednesday, and then you have Thursday and Friday online. And so the way that this class runs is, let's look at week 2 since that's more of a normal week. The assignments and everything you need to do are due by the end of the day Tuesday, which means you could do it all on Monday, you could do it all on Tuesday, you could split it between, but no matter what, it's got to be submitted before Tuesday is over. I hope you are in bed before 11:59 on Tuesday, but that would be the true cutoff. Please don't wait till the last minute. Now, we have live class first period on Wednesday. Good morning, you have chemistry. I'll try to make it as fun as possible. But that means that if you don't get something done here on Tuesday, you're going to have a really hard time being ready for live class. It's not like you have second period to do it before live class, which I don't allow anyways. So please make sure to plan out in your planner when you sit down Monday morning. Write in, okay, I need to read section 1.3 and take notes on the elements, and then, okay, I'll take the quiz on that on Tuesday after I do some studying. Thursday and Friday work the same way. Again, you have flexibility if you want to do these assignments either on Thursday or on Friday or split between the two, but no matter what, everything that's in these two columns is due by the end of the day Friday. The whole point of that is so you have Saturday and Sunday off, because no one wants to do school 7 days a week. And that's not what we want for you. We want your brain to rest, you to have a social life and have fun, and not just be only doing school. So I've broken it up for you into a 5-day plan, so you could just follow that straight as you like. I think cramming too much into one day just kind of burns people out on a particular subject, whether it's your favorite or not. So I would recommend spreading it out, especially as we get into some more complicated stuff later in the semester. Everything you see on Wednesday is what we will be doing during live class. So you don't need to do any of this stuff before. You just need to show up first period, and this will be provided for you. Occasionally I'll remind you that, okay, you need to turn something in on this day, so you'll see that, like I've highlighted this in yellow, but otherwise pretty much just show up and this is for you. These things in parentheses are reminders to me of what I need to give to you, or basically notes for me. So just kind of keep that in mind. You are welcome to look ahead. The whole semester is there. However, things change pretty frequently. Not big changes, but enough that I might say, okay, well, this went really well in live class. They might need to not have to do this assignment, and I might take something off your calendar. If that change is happening during the week that it actually is, I'll email you and let you know. But if it's week 2 and I'm making a change to week 7, I'm not going to say anything. So focus on the week that you're in. Maybe look ahead into the next week just to kind of know what's coming. But don't look too far ahead because it may not stay the same. All right. So now you know where to find your schedule, but how do we know like what to actually do? So let's use this first week as an example. We have section 1.3 in the elements. We need to review some vocab and take a quiz, and then we've got a periodic table assignment later and then another quiz. So until you see the end of a unit, so this is the Unit 1 exam, that means everything before it is in Unit 1. So we can assume, let's start in Unit 1. And actually, we're going to take a step back because the first thing we need to do is read some notes. And you're going to do that by using your textbook. Now, you can either check out a textbook from me in live class tomorrow. I'm assuming you're watching this Tuesday. Or you can use your online textbook. And you just use your regular PSD login to sign into your textbook, which is super handy. And I'm not going to go through it together because we'll look at it in live class, but it's a pretty simple and easy textbook to use. You also will be using Khan Academy quite a bit in this class, so you can go ahead and sign up for your account. We will do some of this in live class as well. And we're going to be using PlayPosit occasionally just for some help videos. So you can find all of that under your textbook because your textbook is not truly your only resource. We use Khan Academy and PlayPosit as kind of a supplement to our textbook, so they're all located there. So let's say you've read your notes and you've read 1.3 and you've taken your notes, and now we need to take that quiz. And if we open our calendar into another tab, so we can pop back, refresh our memory, we'll see that, okay, that was Monday's work. I could take the quiz right now, and if it's fresh in your head and it made total sense, maybe that's a good idea, but it might be good to sit on it and review it the next day and see how much you actually remember. Because the whole point with chemistry especially is you're going to need to remember what you learned in 1.3 all the way in December. So you want to make sure it sinks into your brain. Either way, when it comes time, you'll go back into Unit 1 and you've got some resources here. You've got your assignments and your quizzes. Well, we're going to find the quiz for 1.3 here. And by clicking on the quiz, it will bring up a page. It doesn't start it right away, but it says, okay, you have this many minutes to take it and you can take it this many times. Are you ready? And you say yes. And you are welcome to use your notes on the quizzes. You get 2 attempts, but whatever your second score is, that's the one that sticks. So if you take it once and you don't do awesome, you're going to want to spend some time reviewing. Okay, let's go back into Unit 1. Let's follow these breadcrumbs backwards. And let's look at the resources. What do we have for Unit 1? Oh, here's a video here. And I will make notes of those in the announcements of, hey, by the way, we're reading about this. You might want to watch this video if you need a little extra support. Or, hey, this might make it go a little bit faster for you when you take notes. And so those will always be in the unit resource section. The assignment section is where you'll actually turn things in. And the periodic table activity was one that was on our calendar. So here's your instructions. Sometimes it'll link out to another document. Sometimes it'll send you to do an activity and take a picture of your score. In this, no matter what it is, you still have to turn something in, right? So in this particular section, you're doing some practice and then you're turning in a picture of your successful work. So you'll click on the link for the assignment, and this is called a Dropbox. And actually what we're seeing now is our sample student has already submitted it, and you can tell that because it says Start New. So that means they've already turned this assignment in. If they wanted to make improvements to it and they've talked with me, they could do that. But we're looking for one that's blank. So let's go back and let's pick this bottom one. I bet our sample student hasn't turned this one in yet. So you'll click on the link. This is what a Dropbox actually looks like. Shows you how much it's worth, reminds you of the instructions. And then you have a couple options. You could write a submission, which I will tell you is the hardest way to do it. The best way to turn something in is either to upload a Word document or just copy and paste a link to a Google Doc right there. That allows you to use like an actual spell check and all that good stuff. If you write a submission, it's like writing me a note. It should be, used for a 1 sentence. Hey, by the way, page 3, I got I had a question, so I guessed on that answer. That would be the kind of thing. And then you would click submit when you're done, and I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, it says we didn't attach anything, so we would want to double check that. And then it shows you, like what we saw before, that, okay, it has been turned in. And if you had attached something, it would actually show it to you right here. So you actually know that it came through successfully. So, and then we click OK. And if we wanted to try again, then we would click on it and we could submit another assignment. When we are working on assignments, most of the times they will be submitted through here, but if it's a live class assignment, it's probably something you'll turn in to me on paper. So you'll see some of your assignments that are on your calendar in here. Some of them you'll turn in to me in person, but no matter what, only do what is on your calendar. So if you see more assignments in a folder and they're not listed on your calendar, that means I decided you don't need to do that. So don't do it. Save yourself some time. So now that you've turned work in and you know that you should be getting some points, how do you check your grade? That is where the My Grades section comes into play. So first thing I want to point out is over here, you want to make sure that it is sorting your assignments in class order, which means the beginning of the semester is at the top and all the way down to the end of the semester down here. That will help you keep track of if you missed an assignment, if you skipped over something accidentally, or if there's something old in there that needs to be graded and you're not sure if I found it or not. And by the way, you can always email and ask and say, hey, I was just wondering if you found my assignment. It's been sitting there for a while. Sometimes there's glitches and I don't see things, but sometimes I get behind in grading, so it never hurts to ask. And I'm always happy to double check your grade for you. So if we look at our sample student is not doing so hot. Like, this is kind of a scary grade. So let's see if we can figure out what happened. If we look at points earned, our sample student earned 7.1 points out of 25. Yeah, that's not good. So what happened? The first assignment, which you're going to be doing soon, they only got 7 out of 15 points. So they only got half credit on that. That is a bad score on a quiz. You want to retake that. I would say if you miss 1 or 2 points, definitely not worth retaking. But if you're missing more than like 20 to 30% of the points, that's putting you down in the D range, and that's going to impact your grade for a long time and going to be harder to recover from. So what you can do is you can click on the title here, you can review the quiz, figure out the questions you got wrong, go figure out the correct answers, and then take it again. And whatever score you get on your second one sticks. So hopefully it's better because you did the studying and the review, and it should bring your grade up. Some other things to note are this point 10 here. That means an assignment was late. You forgot to turn it in, or you didn't even realize it was due because you didn't look at your calendar. And so you want to jump on those right away, because I will accept late work, but only until the unit exam. So the unit exam is down here, which means once that's due, everything up here will no longer be accepted, because in my opinion, we are moving on and I don't want you working on old stuff. Things that have yellow exclamation points mean that they need grading, and if there was any feedback to you, there'd be a little bubble here with notes on it, and that would maybe be me saying, hey, you did a great job on this. It looks like you really know what you're talking about. Or, oh, I was confused. It looks like you didn't do page 2. Always read that feedback so that you know how you did, how you can improve, and maybe clear up just some confusion and get some more points. The penalty for not turning work in on time is a 25% penalty. So if you took a 10-point quiz and you earned all 10 points, you'd actually only get 7.5. So you definitely want to get as much work done on time as possible. So that kind of sums up everything in the class that you need to know to get started. Your first assignment is you need to take this syllabus quiz. You will find that in the Start Here section. You need to read the syllabus first and then go ahead and take that quiz and see how you do. And I will see you in live class.